Hello, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be carrying on with my Pikmin 3 Deluxe 100% walkthrough. So we're up to day 9 and we are going to be going to the Garden of Hope. And before we do, let's talk. So in the last session we got Olimar back to the SS Drake and he is unconscious right now and they're just talking about him, I guess. So there we go, he's sleeping. And today we're going to do a bunch of stuff. I'll explain in a minute. I just want you to experience this next bit first for yourselves though, because it's pretty cool what happens. I like how there's a rubber duck floating about in the ship. Like, where did that come from? Did they bring that with them? Why did they even bring a duck with them in the first place? They're supposed to be coming here to find fresh food. It's stupid. The next morning, so Olimar runs off, and if you look in the top right corner now, yep, there's an explosion. So where did he get bomb rocks from? They don't own any bomb rocks. I didn't see him have any bomb rocks. I don't know. Is he dead? No. He's not dead. Alright. He's run off basically, and he's stolen the duck. That's why I mentioned the duck before as well. But also, which is even worse than that, if you read this here, he's run off with all the juice. Olimar has stole all the juice from the captains. So we have got 0 juices right now. So we need to find at least 1 fruit today or we are gonna die. So it's a bit of stress, a bit of pressure, but we can do it. There's plenty of fruit. We can get quite a few fruits today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play as Charlie. We're going to get out a bunch of Pikmin. I've got 15 yellows, 10 rocks and 8 reds. And you'll see why in a minute. It's just because I need them for certain enemies. Oh yeah, I forgot this data file on the first trip here. That was quite funny actually, how I forgot that. So if you remember that electric gate that was back there, I'm just going to put a few yellows on it now. And basically what I'm going to do as Charlie is I'm going to go around and put a few yellows on the electric gates that need opening. And as Alf I'm going to do this for one of the electric gates. But basically we're just going to open a load of the gates, and even if we don't go in all of them today, they're already open for tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're going to be going back here as well to finish off anything that needs doing. Let's just kill this Bulborb. I'm not sure if you noticed, but now there's 2 dwarf red Bulborbs, so there's 2 little ones, as well as a big red one. I like how they add more enemies over time to make the game a bit harder. With some places they do, with some places they don't. It's really weird. It'd be cool if they just did it everywhere to make the whole game harder. The longer you were here, the bigger and harder the enemies got. It'd just be great. So we're gonna go this way. We opened up this gate all the way back on day 2, if you can remember, all the way back then. And it leads to this area, and the reason we didn't do this area before is because we need yellows to get to the second part of the area, which leads to the main part of the puzzle. And we'll head back here towards the end of the day to get those yellows back. And now we're gonna do the main bit. So as Brittany, we're gonna take out some rocks and some reds. Oh, I need wings. I just remembered I need wings. And as you can see, where Louis went, he's opened up this area for us to go in, and it's really cool how he's opened this big area up. So we're gonna go explore it now. So you may be wondering, like, the Garden of Hope is quite a small level, but it's actually not. It's actually quite a big level. It's just that this whole part of the level's been hidden this whole time because they don't want you to access it yet. And the only way to access this area here is by Louis blowing it up. So you have to do that first before you can come in here. And there is the final onion. So that's what we need wings for, to pull it out of the ground. And it is the blue onion, so we can now use blue Pikmin. I think blue Pikmin are really cool because they can go in water, and there's a lot of water in this game. And now once we get blues, and once we farm quite a few, we can pretty much get any fruit in the game at this point, because we have all 5 colours. We can do any puzzle we want, we can go pretty much anywhere we want. So yeah, it's cool. So at this point in the game, everything opens up to you and the whole game becomes way more open. If anything, what you should do is just get all the colours first and then go back and get all the fruits. That could work well. I'm just doing it as like a guide and I'm getting any fruits I can along the way. But I will revisit every level at least once to clean everything up. So you may recognise this gate as well, so we're going to throw some yellows on here. We're actually going to kill this blowhog first, because he could kill the yellows if we're not careful. There we go. Let's just whistle everyone, we'll throw the yellows back on, no big deal. And now we're going to use go here, we're just going to go back to the onions, sort our Pikmin out, and they've broken this wall. So we're going to head back here. And I think we're just going to spend some time growing blues today, because we need a good amount of blues for what we're about to do on the next day, and for some stuff we're doing this day. Oh yeah, data file. Blue Pikmin can survive in water. I like how it has to say that, like even though they're born in water. Oh well. This gate's nearly done. As you can see, I like to just prioritize on putting a few on each gate. Like you could just put like 30 or 40 on one gate, but if you just put a few on each one, then all of them will get done at pretty much the same time. Even though it takes a lot longer, it's not that bad, you only have to wait a few minutes. Like, it's not, I always thought that if you put 5 on a gate it'd take like the whole day, but that's not really the case. So let's just kill this blowhog, and underneath that pile there is a fruit. I forgot the name of the fruit, but there was one in Tropical Wilds that we got by digging it out of the ground. You'll probably recognise it just from the top. So let's put 10 Pikmin on it, and once it gets digging out of the ground, they'll carry it back. We got another data file, another journal entry. It's pretty cool. We're going to kill this dwarf bulborb. I call them little bulborbs. I know they're really called dwarf bulborbs, but I like thinking of them as baby bulborbs. Because they kind of are, because you see like a big red one and you see a few little ones around it. Like, you think of it as like, that's the mum and dad and they're the kids. I'm just always going to think of that. Let's kill this enemy. This is a new enemy actually. It is a... I forgot the name of it, I'll have to look in the Piclopedia, but they can swim and they can eat your Pikmin. So the best thing you can do is charge with blue Pikmin. Because when you charge in water, the blue Pikmin can swim up to whatever enemy it is. They don't just get stuck at the bottom of the water, they can actually swim in the water. Which is a really cool mechanic, and we never really seen this before in a Pikmin game. Even in Pikmin 1 and 2, we never really seen water like this. It's just been like flat, and you can just run across it. But I love how in this game you can go really deep into the water, and there's like loads of sea creatures and everything. It's really cool. Adds loads of detail to the game. So we're going to swarm these fish one at a time because they can eat your Pikmin. Luckily we didn't lose any, we just swarmed them nice and safely. And underneath this like half-built bridge is a strawberry, so we're going to collect that. Now we're going to definitely survive because we got 2 fruits on the way back, so we don't need to worry about running out of juice because we'll at least have a few juices. So that's nice, we don't need to worry about that anymore. But we never really need to worry anyway. We just come back to get those yellows that had finished on that gate. We won't be going through that gate, but basically it leads to a cave. But we're going to go through a different entrance because the other entrance leads to a higher up part of that cave. But we're going to leave through that exit, so it'll be fine. You'll get to see both ways in and out. These yellows should be done. Yeah, they are. Just before we head into this cave, I want my blues to be productive, so I'm going to get them to do something. Might as well put them on these bridge pieces. So these obviously lead to the red-orange bridge that you saw earlier on. Once that bridge is built, we'll be able to go across there, and you'll see what's over there in a bit. Before we do, we'll go into this cave. This cave's really cool. I really like the look of this cave. There's another box. Like I was saying about boxes, there is quite a few. So we're just going to push it down. And before we go down there, I'm just going to get my wings to collect a fruit that's over here. So there's 2 scales. And what you're meant to do is you're supposed to weigh down the other scale and then walk across when you have less Pikmin. But what you can do is just throw your wings on these grapes by going around, and they just fly over the scales and ignore the puzzle completely. I was thinking whether I should include this or not, but I decided to include it because it's not very game breaking. Plus I've already explained how to do the puzzle normally. So you're not really missing out on anything. It's quite obvious what you have to do. You weigh down the left scale so then you can walk across the right scale without the right one being heavier. But if we come down here, we got a mini boss. So remember those lobster things? We got a massive lobster thing. And what you have to do is you have to throw Pikmin on his eyes. And once both of his eyes have been taken out, he rolls over on his back. and then you just want to throw your Pikmin onto its back. So I like to start with reds, because reds do the most damage. And then I go onto my rocks, because the rocks do quite a bit of damage each time they hit. And by the time I've thrown all of them, he should usually be dead. Oh yeah, that's just a data file telling you about him. It's pretty cool, I guess. Something I don't like about certain data files, especially with bosses, is sometimes you may get the data file before seeing the boss, and it kind of ruins the boss a little bit. But it's no huge deal, I guess. It's just trying to tell you what to do. There's some little ones there, if you know what I'm on about. That's like the smaller version of the mini-boss. The reason I say mini-boss is because it's not the same as like the huge bosses you see in the game. Like, they're still quite big, obviously. Like, they've got their own music, the mini-bosses, but they're not the same as the big bosses. They're not like stopping you from progressing in the story. They're usually just enemies that are out of the way, like that. And once you kill them, you usually get some kind of fruit from them as a reward. So if you want to 100% the game, obviously you'll need to kill all the mini-bosses, plus you'll need them as Piclopedia entries. That Dirt Mound was a little bit pointless because it was just some pellets. So if you're not bothered about pellets, then don't get them. I wasn't that bothered, so I didn't get them. We're just building the second half of this bridge. Oh yeah, that's the other entrance. We just came out from the other entrance, if you know where we are right now. We're gonna head to... Should we head to Brittany? Should we head to base? I'm not sure, I'm just thinking where we should go. Let's just whistle these guys. I'll put some away, because we got quite a few on the field, and I want to grow a lot of blues. I kinda need some wings as well for what we're about to do. The thing is, you don't really want to have loads of Pikmin on the field when you get the blues, because you'll grow quite a few blues, but then you won't have space for them, because all the other spaces will be taken up from other colours that you don't really need on the field at the moment. So I've just put everyone else away once they're done. So we're going to head across the bridge, because we've done the bridge. So I'd recommend taking some rocks with you, and some wings, and take at least 20. Before we do that, I'm just going to throw some blues on this gate, about 10ish. They'll be done later on today. There's no rush, as long as they get that wall done by the end of the day, it'll be fine. So we're going to go across this bridge here, and this is probably the cutest enemy in the game. And he is dead, just like that. So you'll see him again later on, but he is harmless basically. All he does is he wakes up, he moves around a bit, and if you wait too long, he just blows bubbles. Now, the Pikmin don't drown from the bubbles. You can't drown. They just get stuck in the bubbles, and after a few seconds, the bubbles just pop. So, he's basically one of the easiest enemies in the game. I remember when I first saw it sleeping, I was actually quite scared to wake it up. Well, not scared, that's the wrong word to use, to be honest, but I was thinking I need to get some more Pikmin with me, because I thought it was going to be some kind of new Bulborb that would eat your Pikmin really fast. But no, it's just a cute little octopus. It's a little bit underwhelming, but it's pretty cool. I wish they had more of these in the early days. They would have been pretty good starter enemies to have in the game. It would have been nice to see them. Oh yeah, we got this fruit on the way back. Oh, it's going to go this way. If you've got a good memory, you may remember there was a wall that was underwater that we can now access with blues. So if we go over here, you'll see underwater here there is one of these slug creatures, and there's a wall. You may have seen this on day 2 like I was saying. If you did, you'll remember to go back here. It's pretty good game design actually, how you have to remember this from day 2 to go back here. You can get to this from the other side of the area, but there's another octopus that I was on about. So basically, once you break through this gate, it leads to where that gate's nearly done. So we're going to go through that gate there, and you'll see where it leads to. It'll make sense in a minute. We will leave all our Pikmin here. They've just finished the gate, so we're going to get them. We're going to go through here, and as you can see, both the gates connect up here. That's why there's a wall there, because if you could get in this area early, you could access all sorts. You could access blues early, you could access certain enemies early, certain fruits, certain puzzles. It just breaks the game too much, I think. And plus, you wouldn't really be able to get anything back, because you wouldn't have blues unless you carried everything with wings. But there we go. Everyone's dead in this area. We're going to carry back this thing here, because it only weighs 3 and it makes loads of Pikmin. So it'll give us loads of blues. And that's kind of what we want, because we need quite a few blues for something we're going to do towards the end of the day. and we'll just need more blues for the rest of the Pikmin days when we revisit areas to get all the fruits. So we might as well carry back all the enemies we can see. We don't want to carry too many back because we need Pikmin to be doing things. As Alf, we're just going to go back to the Onion. As Brittany, we're going to stay here with all our Pikmin, and we're just going to make sure everyone's getting on with their tasks. Because if they're not, it'll be sad. Let's switch to Charlie. Oh yeah, the Pikmin are done with that gate. We're going to head back to base now, because we don't really have anything to do there. We'll check that area out tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show you how to do that puzzle in the area. But today, it's just not really a good day to do the puzzle because we've got all our Pikmin doing other things. But tomorrow we'll have plenty of time to do the puzzle, so just wait for tomorrow if you're wondering how to do that puzzle. Let's just pluck all these blues because we've got loads of new blues. This is why you need loads of space on the field if you want loads of blues out. Because if you didn't have space, then you wouldn't have many blues with you right now. We're going to take the wings with us through the water, because remember, wings don't drown unless you obviously drown them on purpose. So there's a bamboo gate here, we're going to lift it up. Now be very careful going into this area, because there's loads of those little fish. What I'm doing, I'm just going to kill them. And your blues can go everywhere as well, so just make sure to get all your blues. I'm still deathless at the moment, that's pretty cool. Let's just whistle everyone. And we're going to go around the back here. You can also access this area from the other side, which you'll see me do in a minute. There's Brittany to show you where we are. We're just going to head this way. And if you're wondering what the Pikmin are building with those pieces, it is like a big platform, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's another one of these crab, like lobster things. So we're just going to ignore him for now. The fruits you should have so far is the strawberry, the orange thing, the grapes, starfruit, and that weird green thing that I always forget the name of. I'm all for with fruit names. So obviously I'm using spicy spray because it's quicker, and of course my blues will now be flowered up forever. And he's super easy with spicy spray. He's a bit of a joke to be honest, but I don't mind. I like nice easy bosses sometimes. There we go, and now we can finish building this platform. So on the next day, what we can do with this platform is we can throw if we get all three of our captains together, we can throw a captain across to the right there, and we can access where that blue bridge is. So basically that whole thing has been to access a new area. Oh yeah, there's another data file here. We're just going to whistle the wings off so they don't get left behind at the end of the day. Whistle the rocks, and we just need to get this fruit back, and then we've done pretty much everything I've wanted to do today. I could technically do a tiny bit more stuff today, but we only have 3 dots of time left, and I don't really want to make it too full with stuff to do, because we won't have as much to do tomorrow. There we go. 6 fruits, pretty cool. Let's end the day. I do kind of need to talk a bit more about where certain fruits are. I think I'd need to be a bit more clear, but at the same time, like I was saying in previous episodes, if you are watching the gameplay at the same time, you will spot where all the fruits are very easily. And I get all the fruits in the intended way, so there'll be no confusion there. Other than those grapes, which that is kind of the intended way, the way I got them. But never mind. There's some bulbs there, we've not left any behind. If you leave any behind, the bulbs obviously eat the Pikmin, they can't escape. Even if they don't get eaten during the cutscene, they still get lost. So yeah, just make sure not to leave any behind, just make sure all your Pikmin are with you. Even if you end the day early, and you have left some, the game will warn you that you've left some behind. So the game is very nice to you in that way. I think it's too nice almost, because in Pikmin 1 it never did that, I don't think. I'm just trying to think back to Pikmin 1 now, I don't think it did that. But, oh yeah, there we go. We got new fruits, we got a new colour of Pikmin, we got all 5 colours, which is amazing, because now we can access pretty much anything. But what I'm actually going to do on the next day is I'm going to finish off this area, and hopefully find Captain Olimar. That'll be awesome if we do. But we're going to just juice some fruits right now, because that's what we do at the end of every day. And thankfully we now have enough juice to live off, because we lost our old juice supply, which was a ridiculous amount of juice, but oh well, we can get it back sometime. When we go back to the other areas, we'll only spend 1 Pikmin day in each area, because 1, we don't have that much to do, and 2, we're doing the game in 15 days, which sounds like not many, but as you can see, I've been doing each day at a fairly just slowish, well, I wouldn't say slow pace, but I could be going a lot faster, but I'm deciding just to go fairly slow on each day, just so you can see everything that's going on. I'm ending certain days early, like today. I'm just going to make sure that I can get everything done in 15 days, but at the same time not rush, because I don't like having to do that for Let's Plays, because then I might miss out certain parts of maps and things. Plus you don't need to rush for 15 days, especially on normal difficulty. But there we go, we got this fruit back as well. That's the last one, so we've got 8.5 juices. That's pretty good, considering. Oh yeah. That's nice. So we're going to have a week's worth left in a minute, and we are pretty much at the end of the episode. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe if you're new around here. I will upload the next few parts soon, and this part should be out soon. Well, I don't know why I'm even mentioning that, because if you're watching it right now, then it's obviously out. It's pretty stupid to say that. But there we go. I'm not sure if I mentioned it at this episode as well, but the blue onion also merged with the other onions. I didn't think to mention it because all the other onions did that. But yeah, I just mention it, why not? Just in case anyone missed that. But there we go. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.